Wonderful people, viewers and subscribers, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Another update just dropped, which many quarters have said something, or rather, they have dropped their own opinion. But let me just read the headline before we can dissect and digest the message to the best of our knowledge. Nnamdi Kanu, U.S. Congress asks Secretary of State to engage Nigerian government. This one is the, side of the story that is coming from Daily Post. Yeah, and I have another Daily Daily Trust, who also said their own, their own part of the story, which is, according to them, they said, why is the U.S. Secretary of State coming to visit Mazen Nnamdi Kanu in Sokoto? Seems like these people are looking for another different thing, not freedom of this tea. They say tea, they will use that word tea, but I don't want to complete it so that I will not make their words relevant. Well, the matter, the truth of the matter is that Secretary of State Michael Rubin, according to the information dropping from different quarters, landed in Sokoto Correctional Center for an official visit and also to have a kind of a one-on-one dialogue with Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. What they are dialoguing is what I don't know. But just like as I said earlier, the truth of the matter is that U.S. now, in fact, we always, we used to use this language. I don't even know why U.S. is taking time rolling over this matter. In fact, they talk too much. And remember, we always say that too much talk never full a basket. Anyway, let me read the content of this message. And don't forget, there's another update here. I have posted just a small write-up on my Facebook page, which says, police declares 6 IPOB members wanted. Do you know? Well, if I read this message, even yourself watching me, you will begin to ask, where are all Igbos gone? Suddenly, we are becoming useless. So, in the sense that before we used to be the salt, which they call the salt of the nation, that whatever you cook without us can never make any meaningful, the taste can never make any meaning. But now everybody can cook whatever they want to cook because we that remain the salt that we give taste to whatever they cook. Now we have lost our taste completely. See, police declare 6 IPOB members wanted. Not that these people kidnapped. Listen to me, because I have read the message. Not that these people planned terrorism or they are doing terrorism. Do you know why they were arresting them? Because they are the ones who are always planning for protests in Abia State. Then police declare them wanted. Do you know that I'm talking to you now? Police have never declared the bandits and the terrorists who kidnapped school pupils from the ages of 2, 3, 4, 5 up to more than 2 weeks now. Those kids are still in captivity. Their videos is always showcasing every moment of the day. Police, military, DSS do not declare them wanted. You know why they declare these ones wanted? Because they know that we have lost our taste, that nobody is going to stand for them. And when you see the names of this guy being mentioned, my brother, if you see a name of Nwokorobia, you will know. If you see a name of a 17th century man or woman, you will know. This 21st century or 24th century that they may choose to call it, when you see their name, you find out that these are just youths of Biafra land. Who is going to speak for them? Nobody. Who is going to stand for them? Nobody. Because the Igbos who are supposed to stand for them have lost their taste. All of them are busy dancing skelewu on social media. Let us read the news, my people. If I say I don't talk too much because or two they complain. But I'm sorry if you feel that way. This is who I am, and that is what I represent. The United States Congress has asked the country's Secretary of the State to engage the Nigerian government on the trial, conviction, and the imprisonment of leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. When I saw this message, they said the Mazen Nnamdi Kanu case have reached to Congress. I said, after all these years with Gamarolin, really more talk about Nnamdi Kanu, Teddy Cruz talk about Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, the one that is championing it now, which is ex-mayor Mike Arnold, talk about Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Then what about this one, Elias Gadosilis? He's also talking about Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. All of them are talking about this in Washington D.C. in the same Congress. So it means that all these years they are just talking without no action. That recently Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case then got to the Congress. God have mercy. Anyway, let us read the matter, please. The development followed a resolution passed by the Congress on the May 22nd, 2026. A copy of the resolution was obtained by Daily Post on Tuesday, which is yesterday. The resolution numbered H.RX 1321 followed a motion by Congressman John James in the motion asked the Congress to call on the government of Nigeria to ensure that all legal proceedings involving Kanu are conducted in full accordance with Nigeria's constitutional obligations and international human rights commitments. Kanu was on November 20, 2025 sentenced to life imprisonment by an Abuja Federal High Court presided by Injustice James Omotosho following his conviction on terrorism charges filed against him by the Nigerian government. The IPOB leader is currently 7-day life sentence in Sokoto Correctional Center. Kanu and his lawyers had kicked against the judgment delivered by Injustice James Omotosho in the terrorism trial, arguing that his conviction was based on a repealed laws. The pro-Biafra activists had filed an appeal to challenge his conviction, but hearing in the suit is yet to commence. In the resolution adopted by the U.S. Congress, U.S. lawmakers asked the Nigerian government to ensure that Kanu trial is conducted in compliance with constitutional obligations and international human rights commitments. The U.S. Secretary of State was asked to engage the Nigerian authorities to the matter, as well as issues relating to Kanu's detention conditions. Kanu and his representatives had frowned at his detention in the Sokoto prison, citing the distance to Abuja, where the appeal is expected to be heard. They argued that the distance could undermine the preparation and presentation of the appeal. Concerns were also raised about the IPOB's leader's safety in the prison located in the seat of the caliphate. The U.S. Congress specifically asked the Nigerian government to consider a report on Kanu's detention by the United Nations Working Group on Arbitrary Detention and take appropriate action on the findings. The resolution read, calling on the government of Nigeria to ensure that all legal proceedings involving Mazi Nnamdi Kanu are conducted in full accordance with the Nigerian constitutional obligations and international human rights commitments. Whereas Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a political figure known for advocating on behalf of the communities in southeastern Nigeria. Whereas Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has publicly expressed his views regarding political self-determination and governance through speech and advocacy. Whereas concerns have been raised regarding the circumstances of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's apprehension in Nairobi, Kenya in June of 2021 and his subject transfer to Nigeria. Whereas questions have been raised by legal observers and international bodies regarding whether this transfer comply with the applicable legal standards and international obligations. Whereas the United Nations Working Group on Arbitrary Detention, in an open opinion issued on July 20 of 2022, found that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's detention violated international human rights obligations and called for his release and the provisions of remedies. Whereas courts in Kenya have issued rulings concerning the legality of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's transfer from Kenya to Nigeria. Whereas concerns have been raised by human rights organizations regarding due process, access to counsel, and the conditions of detentions. Whereas prolonged detention without adequate medical care raises serious humanitarian concerns. The protection of freedom expressions, fair trial rights, and human rights abuse. Whereas the protection of freedom expression, fair trial rights, and human treatment of detainees are fundamental principles recognized under international law in detainees, including the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. Whereas the United States has a long-standing commitment to advocating for the protection of human rights and the rule of law globally, and whereas the United States had previously engaged diplomatically in cases involving individuals detained abroad, where credible concerns of wrongful detention exist. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the House of Representatives calls on the government of Nigeria to ensure that all legal proceedings involving Nnamdi Kanu are conducted in full accordance with the Nigerian constitutional obligations and international human rights commitments. Urges the government of Nigeria to carefully consider the findings of the United Nations Working Group on Arbitrary Detention to take appropriate steps consistent with those findings. Encourages the government of Nigeria to ensure that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has consistent access to legal counsel, necessary medical care, and human conditions of detention. Encourages the Secretary of State to engage with the government of Nigeria regarding concerns related to due process, detention conditions, and respect for fundamental rights, and reaffirm the commitment of the United States to the protection of human rights, freedom of expression, and the rule of law worldwide. Police declare 6 IPOB members wanted. The Abia State Police Command has declared 6 men wanted over their alleged involvement in activities linked to the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB. Make on the listing. Okute News report that the individuals named by the police are Chukwebuka Oha HAC, Emma Okonkwo, Jude Owa, Gento Okaro, Uchenna Dike, and Emmanuel Nwankwo. In a statement released on Tuesday by the command spokesperson ASP Egwavon Omakoro, the police said the 6 men are suspected to be members of the IPOB and were allegedly involved in organizing and taking part in different protests across Abia State. So what are the listen? Let us continue. According to the police, the demonstrations were connected to calls for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who remains in detention, as well as demands for justice through legal channels. The command claimed that some of the protests led to the disturbance and affected public order in the parts of the state. The police further stated that investigations carried out by the intelligence department identified the 6 men as key figures involved in planning and coordinating the demonstrations. The command also alleged that the men and other supporters usually gather every year on May 30 to mark Biafra remembrance. Under the hearing, right? The police claim that such gatherings are held at different locations in pursuit of the Biafran cause and campaigns for Kanu's release. According to the statement, the police made several attempts to invite the 6 individuals for questioning over the allegations against them. The first invitation was reportedly issued on December 18 of 2025. The second invitation followed on February 7, 2026, while a third one was sent on March 3, 2026. The command alleged that none of the individuals responded to any of the invitations or appeared before investigators. Following their failure to honor the invitations, the police said the 6 men have now been officially declared wanted. The command appealed to the residents and members of the public to assist security agencies with useful information that could help locate and arrest the suspects. It added that anyone who provides credible information would be rewarded. Now they have set it in. Brothers is going to kill themselves to report their own brother because compensation has been mentioned. In all this in I read, you see where they say that these guys, they carried out kidnapping, they carried out a terrorist attack, they buy anybody, they burn any houses or any community. Do you hear anything? Simply because they are part of the group that is organizing protests every May 30th and release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and they declare them wanted. And then the Igbos, they will see this message. You know what they will do? I know concern me. Everybody will just walk past. My brother, don't worry, it will concern you when the time is right. Should be not concern you, right? Because on our way, brother, no worry. It must surely reach your doorstep, and then you will understand what it means today. Have a nice day, and please help me to circulate this message. I'm still calling on Igbo communities worldwide to wake up, because this level of marginalization that is going on this moment, any small thing, they will declare any Igbo man wanted. But bandits are inside bush doing TikTok, showcasing the money they got from people through kidnappings. Yet, the government never declared them wanted. In fact, they told you that they are our brother, that if they repent, in fact, they said they are prodigal sons. And then Igbos are waiting until they buy all their youths who's going to defend their land when these people finally invade us. Okay, let us fold our hands. Nothing will happen, right? It must surely happen. But remember, Abacha also, I go mile. Now here I go take a break. Please share this message. Kachineke mezi okwu.